Right, let's also get the announcement ping out. There we go. And let's get straight back to it, I guess. I completely forgot what I was doing the last time, which is completely on brand for me, I guess. I think I was... Oh right, yeah, I was building something up here and noticed that I was running out of stuff. Yeah, what the hell is using so many stack inserters? Seriously, I can see the warehouses, I can see the other stuff, but like I'm pretty sure that... Oh, wait, I have a distinct feeling that some configuration of those mini loaders just counts as stack inserters in the thingy. Which, great, and also where do I produce my... Of course. You need more gears. When it comes to gears, I'm currently not really looking great in that regard. I guess I need another requester station back here somewhere, which requires goddamn filter mini loaders that I currently don't have. High taxes are theft. You can straight up just disable that in the settings, and I think it was saved for me to disable that because yeah, I disabled it when that was added just because it completely messed with my build order flow and stuff, so I disabled that, and yeah, that apparently just continued over to the next patches. Right. What was I doing? Something with gears. I mean, I am currently producing gears, so I can probably just switch this over from iron to gears and everything's fine, I hope. Because I think I need a lot more gears than I need iron, and also I'm still producing my own iron plates back there somewhere. So that just goes down there somewhere, and great, thanks for the iron guy. Okay, 10k gears, maybe. Right. I have a balancing thingy. What? Also high armed. What? I don't understand. There's the iron there. I mean, great and all, but that means they do in fact have a meaning. That being that they don't have, that they supposedly don't have meaning. But yeah, in that sense, I guess it actually really isn't impactful, so whatever, sure. Hooray for Google Translate or something like that. Fair enough, I guess. Let's get even closer because that way, yeah, that all just works out way faster. If the bots are actually there, that is. And while I'm waiting on that, I can also just dismantle this. That was more or less just a placeholder since I didn't have gears automated at the time. That belt transports gears, and that is a complete mess. Fine, I'll just string this through somehow. And also a lot of the gears go into this provider chest, so I'm just gonna... Those belts are in fact balanced, yes. I'm just gonna pull the second belt off somewhere down here, bring it closer to my bot mall, where I probably need most of those logistic network gears. And somewhere here seems fine. Also, I think I need to build that myself because I currently don't really have loaders. And with that I can also just add loaders into here, I guess. And nope, that doesn't need a shit ton of loaders. Gears. No gears there. Well, I guess there's a decent amount of gears needed here-ish, but currently it's predominantly the inserters that are holding up the pace of things, so yeah, I think that's a good balance. Alright, I'm still not sure where those stack inserters are. Though I am somewhat sure that it's probably just some of those mini loaders being counted as filtered stack inserters. No idea. And currently, if when you see me just touching my eye, it's just a slight bit irritating because over the weekend I was doing some blacksmithing and I was reminded why it would be a good idea to wear goggles, because sometimes there's like coal and stuff clinging to the steel, and that just flies off on the impact of the hammer, which unfortunately, or rather in that case more or less fortunately, almost hit me in the eye. The fortunate part being the almost bit there. So yeah, I've now got the camera's way too overexposed to actually see it, but I've got like a few burns like directly next to my eye, with the skin there being a bit swollen, so that feels a bit weird. It doesn't actually hurt because it honestly wasn't that bad of a burn, but it's in a really awkward spot. Though I admit it could have been a lot worse. So yeah, I guess I'll just wear goggles next time. Huh. 79%. Okay, I think I'm not actually using that much power. Yeah, okay, fine, that's not actually that much. I have seen like the power consumption of like all of this stuff spike up to consistent 600 megawatts, so yeah. Yeah, that should be best practices, but I'm doing a lot of blacksmithing at like medieval festival and stuff like that, where like modern safety goggles just look way out of place, and so I haven't really bothered with that until now. And yeah, that has given me enough motivation to just order some, well, less out of place looking ones, because yeah, always wear eye protection. You are waiting on big electric motors, which are currently waiting on small electric motors, which are currently just not keeping up with the amount of copper being delivered. Alright, I think that kinda... Yeah, okay, fine. There's two belts coming in and one of them is pretty much standing still, so... Yeah, that should probably work. I'm just also gonna increase the amount I have of those to 250, same here. And apparently I am running out of normal inserters, which are produced in my belt more. And the main cause of that is apparently an iron shortage due to me not having upgraded all of those belts. Alright, I'll see to that. I guess that should be a bit better now. Well, gears are looking okay. Pretty much same here as well, and yeah, now it's just the normal inserters being... Okay, fine. That brings me back to the rest of all of that stuff, because I haven't done most of the routing, belt routing around here. I pretty much already forgot what I wanted to use some things here for. But yeah, basically that's just like a way overbuilt production for cargo rocket sections. I know I'm never gonna need that many, unless I do actually need that many, and then I'm gonna be annoyed that I didn't build this. Also some production for space capsules, which apparently also need heat shieldings, glass, solid rocket, fuel. Okay, fine. So a bunch of stuff I'm bringing in anyway. And the stuff for solar panels. What do I need here again? Okay, so that's 5 different things. That's 7, 2 of those I produced there. Also, wait, no, heat shieldings are still part of... Okay, so... It's 1 for each, right? Wait, what? 1, 2... Yeah, okay, fine, I guess. So... That's a shared belt. And then there's... those belts. Same thing again over here. And now it's just a game of Tetris to actually get everything in here, I guess. Well, I mean, whatever's coming in here probably can be split off that way. No idea, I'm making this shit up as I go along. Which works way better in Factorio than it does in Fav. Okay, so there's that. Please tell me I don't need more than 1 belt of... I do in fact need a little bit more than 1 belt of at least 3 things. So... Hooray! Wait, shit, no. this is gonna be completely useless with higher levels of rocket reusability, but that's great, because at least it means I can replenish on stuff, or yeah, I can quickly replenish when I set up outposts, because they usually need like 1 or 2 rocket loads of fuel, cargo sections and all that kind of stuff, so I guess it's nice to keep up a buffer. Speaking of buffer, I actually haven't set up... Right, I wanted to... Well, I can't actually set those up yet, because I am currently still missing warehouses. Which are missing because I have no concrete, or what the hell's the bottleneck there? The bottleneck being that I apparently don't have enough steel going around. Huh. That's certainly something, I guess. I do in fact really not have enough steel going around. That'll sort itself out anytime now. There we go. That now just leaves way too much stuff hanging around. Also, I just remembered, why am I doing all the logistics of that with red belts when I could just, I don't know, upgrade those 2 parts to blue belts and be done with it. Just route in some blue belts and everything's fine. I think it's 43, not 45 exactly, so I just kinda sort out the belts. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Right. Alright, fine, those substations probably can be in a better spot than being in the way, I guess. Okay, and then let's just also add that to over here. This is gonna be really awkward with threading. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's not actually that bad. Okay, fine, it might be that bad. Phew. Okay, fine, I might need a second or two to think this one through. Alright, I've thought it through and have come to the conclusion that I can just do that right now. It's weird how it replaces the normal belts with underground ones, but not in a way that Control Z does actually do something. But yeah, I can now just do this. Thread through a belt over here and over here, and let those two just merge into a blue belt. Ta-da! Now to repeat that exact same thing another 5 times. Which isn't actually that bad, because the first one was the only one where I needed to install some extra underground belts to fit all of that. And with that, I can also just hook all of that up to here, where things will then just quickly be sorted around to wherever the hell they need to go. Also, yes, I'm just continuing this wonky pattern over here. That's the 5 things that I need over here, okay. The next one would be to... Okay, first off, let's get components, I think. Let's get those out of the way. I don't even know how high they stack, because I haven't ever actually put them into a place where I needed them to stack, so... Also, I'm dealing with a lot of random stuff with different stack sizes, so I think I'm instead just going with... That's about 2000 slots with 6 different things. So let's go with request threshold. Wait, no. Let's just go with the baseline of, hey, yeah, I want less than, or I want at least half a train to deliver all that stuff. Okay, so what next? I've got those two sorted. Now to heat shieldings, low density and rocket control, all of which I need over here as well, so... Funny pattern and all, but also slightly in the way of what I'm trying to do, so... And how many of those do I need? 10, 10, okay fine, so that's straight up just red belt siphoned off. Wait, did I miss? Nope, I just misplaced that. I want that here, because that's the cargo tank thingies. What else am I taking out of that? You know what, probably rocket fuel, because glass I can get down here because I already need it down there, and the other stuff's accounted for, so yeah, that's just rocket fuel. And those belts just go there, I guess. That actually lines up almost perfectly. I didn't even do that intentionally. Okay, fine. Right, that's where I need some stack inserter. Oh wait, yeah, I just found where I needed my stack filter inserters. So I need some for like the requester stations. And since I have, well, really? How many? Oh yeah, sure, that's 12 and I need it for like 7, 8, wait no, 8 stations probably. More or less. Okay, fine, I guess that makes sense now. Okay, so the order I do this in is somewhat irrelevant. So let's just go low density structures, heat shielding, rocket control units, and okay, fine, not completely irrelevant because the last one needs to be rocket fuel. And the funny thing is I can't just copy paste that entire block over because mini loaders being funny when it comes to replacement blueprint things. So yeah, I'll just have to copy paste it manually for each. Okay, and now to the big question, where do I put those substations? Well, I think that one just answered itself. Well, yeah, it's just answered itself. I'll just put them wherever they fit. That also resolves the power issue down here because, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I still need power poles down there, but at least for the outer ones I don't need power poles. With the substations in place. Alright, what's the verdict on 75? 75, okay, yeah, that's basically just 2 blue belts. Yep. Well, not fully, but you get the gist, I think. Wait, what? Oh, right. No, it's just 75 circuits. Those 75 steel also come from... Oh, that's gonna be a pain. Yeah, I need massive productions of fast inserters. Iron chests aren't that bad, but like pumps, storage tanks and all that's gonna be a bit annoying. Especially since I need, what, about? Okay, fine, half a belt of each, more or less. Well, a quarter-ish of a belt for like pumps and tanks, but yeah, yeah, sure, just copy this entire thing and I'll siphon off whatever the hell I need from wherever the hell I can sort of spend it, I guess. So first one's gonna be green circuits. Yeah, but still 75 is indeed 2 blue belts. Meaning that belt and give me a sec, I got this. So that belt and no, yes, that one. Blue belts. but that also means I have to go further back to the splitter so that they can actually transport enough. What do I even need for like the blue? Right, that's what I need. I need production science packs for the blue loaders. See, I was wondering why I wasn't actually using blue loaders for everything, and I guess that answered it by that answer just, I don't know, delivered itself with me just not having the tech necessary to do so. And also not the production, because that requires some more production in space that I currently don't have set up. Also it requires vulcanite, which I am not even mining yet. So one of those is just gonna be... Okay, fine, I mean it's, well, almost a full belt of each of those, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Full red belt, mind you, so I can just put those splitters into storage again, because I currently don't need them. So that's those 3 belts. For glass. Right now I can go up here. Steel and copper. The other thing I need is wait, is about the belt of batteries, which I'm currently not producing. Alright, fine, here's the next fun thing. Those are batteries and this is iron. Yeah, that's the iron belt. So this last one is iron. Batteries. Yeah. And then steel, copper and glass. And I do need some glass for over here, I think. Yeah, I do need some glass for over there, as to be exact 10 glass, which just means I'm doing this. Splitting it off right there. And I mean, I have long inserters, and then thanks to Bob's adjustable inserters, I have even longer inserters, which I am just now gonna place as the normal ones for now, and then I need to extend them. But for that I actually need the inserters themselves, which well, currently are missing more normal inserters, which are currently... Oh, it's just a transit problem. Okay, fine. Then due to the distance, just give me 2 stacks of those. There we go, problem probably solved. Or if not, then at least alleviated. And I think that kinda improved things. So you've built one of those, so I guess one of the rocket cargo thingies, yeah, that one. I mean, I think... Wait, how many do I have set up? There's a big possibility that I just need to copy-paste this entire thing over. Wait, I can just go to Novus Orbit. Yay! I completely forgot that or overlooked that there's like a hotkey thingy down there. Well, not exactly hotkey, but a quick dial for planet surfaces, I guess. I guess that's 4 rockets for now. Yeah, I will definitely need more launch sites. The greatest thing about that is that I need an incredible amount of rocket cargo capsules to actually fill up that belt. Normally I would just deliver them via bots, but can't build requester chests yet, so I'm a bit stuck on that. I think I still have a few in the system somewhere. Yeah, okay, fine. I have 2 more requester chests lying around, but I want to just keep them for when it's absolutely necessary. Okay. I guess that coal power can be retired rather soon as well, because I don't think it's gonna hold out for much longer. Which, I mean, how much power is that even? 151 megawatts, which I think is a lot less than what one of those squares can supply. Oh shit. Yeah, okay, fine, that's annoying. I guess it's beneficial that I don't have cliff explosives automated, so I can just throw down this blueprint, and before anything comes to deal with this, I can just go about there. I'm not actually sure how to deal with this. I guess I'll just make those blind exits on the crossing or on the crossover and merge it into here. Wait, no, wrong direction. I think I can accommodate a train length of 5 with this. I guess I'll have to see when that gets built. But yeah, I do need some more train stuff. Stone, how's my current stone mine looking? Well, I have no idea because I currently don't know where the hell it is. I'm getting stone from somewhere, I definitely know that. And I'm currently still getting enough to keep that supplied. Now if I could only find where that station there. Okay, so it's 2 stations. Okay, fine. Let's just go by stations then, and stone supply, that one's down there, and the top one is up here, mining out 2 stone deposits that are close by. Okay, I think I'm not producing enough copper. Or I just needed a shit ton of red belts. Either way is possible, and there we go. Extra long inserters. arms are still a bit sore from yesterday. Right, I'm packaging cargo rocket sections over here. And that got delivered as well, so... what's the... it's 100 stacks. 100 stacks means... I'm just gonna keep 50 of each. Wait. Why be modest, or why start being modest now? Let's just go for 100 of each per thingy. That one there and that one there, and those are gonna be the packaged rocket sections. Over here and over here. And I think that's all of them. So I should end up with 400 space capsules and 400 packaged cargo rocket sections. Which would be enough for 200 rockets. Wait, no. Yes. No, 20 rockets. The cargo rocket sections, that is, the space capsules, would be enough for 400 rockets, but yeah, I'm not really sure. No, actually I do need that many, because every time I want to expand my launch site, I just need, like, oh, I don't know, a couple hundred capsules straight up just to fill up the belt. God, this is a completely shit way to build this. Also, I think I'm just gonna cut down the belts down here, because I just thought of a way better orientation for the currently non-existent inserters. I apparently do have filtered inserters, right, because the normal mini loaders, the tier 1 mini loaders, do need them. So I guess I have those automated. I'm gonna wait for those to be finished. Well, at least loaders are fun, because that was way faster than even upgraded stack inserters could achieve. So yeah, okay. And let's continue with that. I just noticed it is way faster to just do it that way instead of doing it per warehouse, because all that back and forth is just a bit annoying. Okay, so you'll want... of those, 20,000 of those, 20,000 of those, 40,000 of those. Okay, fine, I think I'm gonna cut that down to 10,000. Oops, And the list of deliveries coming here is already way too long, and let's just add onto that another 20,000 of those. And that's a total of 1, 3, 5, 7, 900 stacks. Theoretically. Give or take like a dozen. So that's half my capacity over here. And then I'll just need another. Yeah, let's use the rest of that for batteries that are not being delivered because I am not producing them. No station supplying batteries found. Yeah, you're gonna complain for that once every 5 minutes-ish or something like that. Either way, just one there. This is gonna be weird. Or not, because I can actually just place that there, place that there, there. No, wait, that needs to be there, I guess. I'm gonna wait for the inserters to be placed, which apparently is gonna be rather soon. Next up, the right. These solar panels. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, fine. Never mind, I just got confused somehow. I just remembered a couple of versions ago when like flipping a blueprint was something you needed a mod for. Wasn't that like added in 1.0 or 1.1? I don't remember, but or was it there earlier than that? Could have been. I don't know. Those quality of life features just keep escaping me when they were added, because technically speaking I have been playing since 0.13 or something, so there have been a lot of changes since when I started playing. But yeah, either way, not having to use a mod to flip blueprints is great, though I mean it still doesn't work with any sort of fluid stuff, because can't flip stuff with a chemical plant, because that would really wouldn't work, because the orientation of those fluid inputs is just preset and can't be changed in that regard. Why is there iron ore? Oh wait, I completely forgot there was a small little iron ore patch down there, and instead of just building about. I just placed a chest because there was like, what mining productivity am I even at? I think I went too far. I'm on mining productivity, yeah, okay, so there were like 1200-ish iron down here. Okay, fine, maybe a slight bit more than 1200. Like maybe 1300 or something like that. And yeah, that really wasn't worth wasn't worth building about for, especially since I could only fit one miner on that patch. So I just went with a chest. Okay, that seems to be working now, and you should place on the near side. And all the way back we go. So that insert is placing on the near side to him, and that one's placing on the far side. Okay, so now with the power pole, wait, what? Huh. Right, okay, fine, never mind. With the power poles out of the way, and 50 solar. So, right, also I'm producing 0.1 space capsules per second, so once again that's gonna be 4000 seconds, so about an hour till this fills up, which, I mean, filling up my buffer of space capsules within 1 hour is actually fairly substantial. Because I think for the early game I don't think I'm gonna be starting a rocket once an hour. Okay, fine. Maybe I am gonna be starting like one every 5 to 10 minutes-ish, but once again that just requires some space infrastructure that I currently don't have, and apparently I need more steel. I need a little bit more steel that is currently not really... yeah, okay. But orbital mall. Right. I needed more stuff to actually build those, so that's why I hadn't bothered with adding more recipes. So I need biochem facilities, which are yes. Where might you be? Let me guess, can only be made in a space manufactory. Can only be made in a space manufactory. Same here, same here. Alright. So that one has to go. That one has to go. That one has to go. Those two can go. That one can go. I'm gonna leave that one there for the moment. And I need more space manufactories then. The great thing about those is they are truly massive and I can't fit more than 3 down here. Damn it. Alright, fine. So you're gonna deal with the biochemical facilities, you're gonna deal with supercomputers, and you're gonna deal with thermal radiators. I don't think I need cold thermal fluid for a while now. Wait, radiation facility is needed for Bio 3? Okay, fine, fair enough that it's... I guess it makes sense that it's needed further along the path for those. Same for material catalogs. But yeah, I do need them way earlier for energy science, so okay. But... yeah, I think that's gonna be one of the first things that requires me to have cold or thermofluid stuff. Yeah. Currently sort of debating how the hell I want to do that, because I don't think I can fit anything of that sort right here, so... Also, that is a normal inserter trying to... I don't have those in here, so I need some of those. I need pumps. I think I have them requested somewhere. Yep, I do have pumps. And big electric motors are already being requested and not being delivered because I have run out, I'm guessing. Well, while I take a look at that, couldn't have guessed why they would have run out. Must have been something with the assembly machines, not that I am too annoyed about it, because I do need a lot of them. Yeah. How am I gonna do this? Because could fit one there, but what do I even need for hypercoolers? Yeah, pretty much just so much random stuff that I shouldn't bother in producing them by hand, or feeding a machine by hand to do them. That is a bit annoying. And I can't like sneakily fit a machine in here somewhere. Nope. Well. No. Can I? Okay, I would still need to get rid of that. Okay, you also need electric motors, so fair enough. What's your deal? Stack filter inserters and technically I could fit that in there. In practice, I should probably fit that in there. Somehow. And with that I can probably... not fit that one right there. Wait, is that one fully outstretched? Yeah, it is fully outstretched. So I would need to be here. Okay. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I think I can maybe do something about that. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So I probably do need that here, because otherwise I can't fit anything useful in there. That leaves me with the burning question of how do I get my filtered whatchamacallins space mini loaders in here, because there really isn't the space for something like that. You need to get to there, so I can't deal with that. You fully extended, and the only other thing would be on either that spot or that spot. Yeah, so... I'm just gonna check that off for now. Yeah, there's no place where I can fit another assembler in. So I guess that's that for now. I'm not happy with that, and the thing is also the most I can get in terms of spacing with those is probably another 2 tiles, which once again doesn't really help me because I need 3. So I guess I'll just have to make do with the whole 74 stack filter mini with the filter mini loaders that I currently have. No, I mean 74, that's enough to, well, apparently at least build 3 more of those landing pads, which would be a lot more than what I currently have in terms of I keep losing track of what I want to say, which would be still a bunch more than what I have the launch capabilities for. Okay, fine, my launch capabilities for that currently are sitting at exactly 0. Okay, fine, maybe 1, but that one's going for the assorted random crap landing pad I have in North's orbit. And not one of the larger belted ones. You're gonna go with whitelist space capsules. You're gonna go with cargo sections and right. I also need to hook up the logistic requester thingy for those. Preferably, please tell me 2 megawatts, 10. Okay, fine. I'm gonna use 1 receiver and 1 transmitter in orbit, and that's it. Nothing more. You get a space capsule and lower than 100 for the cargo rocket sections, and then let's just copy that thing to every other of those guys. Okay, now then. Alright, yeah, here's the fun thing. I also need to set all of those to input because mini loaders. And if I remember correctly, I can't copy paste that, so I have to manually set all of those to input. Here's a funny thing though, I think I can copy paste over the uh-oh. That's a problem. Wait, what? But how? Why? What? How does it work with train stations, but not... Train stations save the orientation of the mini loaders, or at least the ones I have to. Because if I look into my train station blueprint, requester station for example, you can clearly see that they do not save the orientation of the mini loaders. So I'm full of shit and that's bullshit. Okay, fine. In that case I should probably make sure that all of the... I mean, that's odd though, because they do get placed in the right orientation. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't hand switch every single one of those. So they do get placed in the right orientation, can't be placed over each other though, and have a problem with blueprinting. Ain't that just great? Okay, fine. In that case, I guess I'll signal the belt and not the mini loaders. Just because... How do I want to do that? Probably with the green wire as well. I'm taking the closest ones for the check if the cargo rocket is done. Cargo rocket equals 1. Signals, cargo rocket equals 1. It's you. And with that, the rocket only gets loaded if I actually have a cargo rocket built. Okay. And after that I also need like the thing for I was about to say, why didn't I build a balancer here? Here's the answer to that. I just don't really need one because the output, because the station itself is sort of balanced to within what, 20? Yeah, to within 20 items from each other. Which would amount to enough space in there that no train will leave with cargo, because that's the main reason to balance such a station, is to prevent one warehouse from fully filling up and a train leaving with cargo. Speaking of, do I have... No, I don't have any alerts, which is actually quite nice, because that means no wonky things happening in my train network. Now then, how do I want to do this? I mean, how do I want to do this? I think, well, columns left to right in terms of assigning them, but other than that, right, I also need a barreling. Okay, fine, let's add that one to the to-do list. A barreling plant. Just so I can properly well, I guess I do still need a bunch of the science packs on, and scaling them for a train base would be nice. But yeah, just so I can pack up on barrels and then send up barrels of heavy oil, light oil and all that shit. Yeah, I think for the start I'll just go with heavy oil. And do I need light oil for something up there? Well, that one needs petroleum and cosmic water, which needs lubricant, which needs heavy oil, so it's heavy oil and petroleum. And I do need cryonite slash later on. I could still barrel that on Novus though, because that cryonite slash allows for a better lubricant recipe that uses less heavy oil, and it also allows for a better coolant recipe, so it has its merits in multiple regards to with it in terms of having it anywhere. I still need to produce batteries. I guess I can't fit another station in there, so batteries. That one's done, that one's done, that one is missing most of what's requested, to which I say fair enough. let's give you like... Now here's the fun thing. 100, so... I'm not producing rocket control units on large scale yet. I'm not producing the rocket thingies on a large scale yet. Right? I don't think I'm producing rocket control units on a large scale. What do they need? Yeah, I'm not producing them on a large scale because they once again need batteries. I've got all the other stuff, but I don't have batteries. Also, another thing I need on my to-do list, bigger smelters. And let's add subtasks. Iron and copper. Because currently I'm running off of, yeah, that one copper smelter that can deliver, well, 3 red belts, and the one iron smelter that can deliver 3 blue belts, which equates to more than the 4 red belts that I'm pulling out, but I currently don't have blue loaders, and I don't have the space for another loader each, so 4 red belts it is. And to top all of that up, I have enough production for 1 red belt of steel, which is actually about as much as I'm using in solar panels. Do I get a better steel recipe later on? Please tell me I do. Steel ingots. What do I need for steel ingots? Right. The steel ingot recipe uses coal. Right, that was one of the funny recipes because those machines only have are only 2 tiles wide, so it's a 2x3 footprint with a fluid port going through the 3 wide side, so you can daisy chain them, but if you do that, you can't really power all of them if you build a lot of them, and as you can see, there is a need for a lot of them because 7.5 ingots, 758 machines. Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Yeah, I have the production, or I have the capability to use a lot of resources, but not the ability to produce a reasonable amount of resources. But, I mean, I can also just ask for low density structures. Let's go for 10k. Same for heat shieldings. Another 10k. And the other stuff needs to wait till I actually produce it. How many heat shieldings and low density structures do I even produce? I think that answers my question, because that is way less than the 43 that I need. Like, that's 30, but I think I scaled that to like 10 or something like that. So once again, coming back to the I can use it, I can't produce it. Hooray for me overscaling every bit of that production, I guess. Now, do I need sulfuric acid in space? What does use sulfuric acid? Okay, fine, that's way more than I expected. That's an argument for actually sending sulfuric. Right, I also need it in barrels to... Choo choo, train time! I also need it in barrels for like a lot of processing stuff. That's gonna happen on Novice because there I can use productivity. That might also happen on Novice. Don't know yet. Well, probably because productivity, once again, because everything in space except the labs doesn't take productivity modules. Right, I needed to mine erudite, I needed to mine necrit. I haven't ever reached that point in space exploration, and this is like my 4th attempt. So, yeah, fine, fair enough. I needed to mine uranium. Well, I got some of that on Novice, so not now. The better processing unit, the better processing unit recipe, beryllium processing, vitalic acid. I'm gonna guess that one's gonna be another Novice recipe for productivity's sake, because that seems like one of the other things that need productivity that I don't want to deal with. Yeah, at least I'm slowly getting the cargo rocket thingy done. Yeah, the requester signaling can wait until I'm ready to actually deliver rocket sections and all that, which requires me to build those things. Yeah, so that's more than a red part in pipes. Also, that's a... That's a dedicated iron request station right there. And I haven't even included those, which need even more iron. I'm looking at 16 belts of iron plates. Alright, alright. Let's be funny and just add that onto that. So, that's, yeah, those 0.3 don't count anymore. Basically, that's accounted for, and the rest is gonna stay up for... Well, I mean... Those are also sort of accounted for. I just need batteries. That's like the only thing required. Okay, fine, I have rocket control units, which once again need batteries. So... if you name all your... Yep, the train weight based on open queue distance, so yeah. Yeah, I know. The thing I tend to do when I'm not using LTN, which I am using here, and LTN has this fun thing where it uses temporary waypoints right on top of the station to ensure that the trains go to the right station. Prior versions of LTN, okay fine, prior as in like 3 game versions ago or something like that, so like 0.18 or something, 0.18 Factorio that is, so a while back, had a problem where they couldn't properly deal with like multiple similarly named train stations, except for the depot where it's more or less irrelevant because, you know, every train can just go into any depot. But yeah, Then LTN just made use of the temporary waypoints, which ensure that the trains go where they are needed. And if I'm not using LTN, I actually just limit my requester stations or like my pickup stations to how many trains they can serve. So if I have an ore mine that has a buffer chest, I just read out how much stuff is in the buffer chests, divided by the amount I can fit in one train, and set that rounded down, obviously, and set that as I think the division rounds down automatically, and set that as a train limit for that specific station, so that I don't get trains waiting in stations where they can't be served. That also kinda helps with the deactivating stations where trains would needlessly wait. And it's a neat way to actually make use of like 2 trains for 5 or 6 ore stations. Yeah, 5 or 6. I know I'm just doing random stuff with my hand that doesn't really relate to what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I can just serve way more ore stations with way fewer trains, and overall the amount of trains I need for all that stuff is then just related to my overall throughput that I basically have at the smelter or smelters, which sometimes operates similarly, that I actually just have a requested amount. Basically I just do a thing, I do similar maths as to what LTN does, but via combinators, and then use that to direct my dedicated lines, because saves on trains, and also it helps me just move the trains where they are needed. I've only done this like once or twice in like bigger bases where I wanted to stay closer to vanilla trains. But I am at an understanding of circuit networks where I can sort of make that work, and with the train limits on stations, that actually works out quite nicely. Because before you would have had to like activate and deactivate stations at random, which is really annoying, but like every station has a train limit, and you can straight up just set that with signals if you have signals connected. I think those all have train limits, those all have, okay, yeah, I think I copy pasted all of them, so they should all have the same settings. But yeah, those train limits are really nice, and recently I've seen something on the Factorio subreddit that showed that you can use train limits to create some interesting rescheduling, because you can also read out the number of trains going to that station, which that was set up in a way that the train station would set the train limit of a closer station to the amount of trains going to that station, meaning that it would be a base 0, meaning the train would go to the further station, where it which would then switch the closer station to a train limit of 1, because the further station suddenly has a train going to it. But that would cause the train to reschedule to the closer station, which then would technically turn the train limit back to 0. But apparently the train didn't care and still went to the closer station that now had a train limit of 0. Fun things can happen when you adjust stuff on the fly. But also I don't really have any idea of how you could properly handle such an occasion, because it's paradoxical. Yeah, the thing with Factorio trains is that you can do so much fun stuff with logic with them. It's kind of baffling, and the fact that you can straight up just create a sort of logic paradox with them is also really funny. Though they apparently don't honor said paradox by just ignoring the second half of it. I'm currently still deciding on where to put the batteries, because I think I should go for 2 belts of batteries at least. Mostly because I have no idea how many I need for... Yeah, I should probably... Yeah, it's basically visual programming, and Novice doesn't have biters at all, because I wanted a peaceful playthrough, and besides that I am also playing on peaceful, so technically there shouldn't be any biter attacks on other planets as well, but yeah. You don't need biters for anything other than challenge, and I want to deal with this run with the single challenge that space exploration provides by itself, which is just the logistics nightmare that comes along with this giant mess of a tech tree. Just, it's not as incomprehensible as like Pyanodons or something like that, which I have tried and like gotten somewhat. I've played Pyanodons with a friend, and we've gotten like through a decent chunk of like the second science pack stuff, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I think those were like 100 hours or something, or 80-ish hours in that save. And I don't know, it was just really, really grindy for not much happening. While with space exploration, you have the other planets that you need to go out and find, and you have, from what I feel, it's just vanilla plus, because you have your vanilla progression more or less. I mean, it's slightly geared to giving you rockets a bit faster, but I'm not complaining about that. But after... holy shit, 240... Also, I think I'm producing sulfuric acid on the same station, and I'm just gonna overbuild it to like... $1,000. But yeah. How many belts of... that's 7 belts so far. Okay, fine, I mean I can deal with not even 3 belts, because I am... yeah, okay, fine. Right, that also ran out. Sure, let's build it here. Do I need water for... I need water for that. I have water fill. I can just water fill it in. I keep forgetting that, so I specifically built my oil build down here to actually get water nearby, because I forgot I actually had water fill. But yeah, space exploration feels a lot less grindy as in the early game, at least, because it's not like, haha, you're gonna deal with all that shit without any splitters for like the next 20 hours, haha. Or, oh, what, you want any sort of powered assemblers? Yeah, sure, I can do that. It's gonna be 11 by 11 tiles big and need 2 megawatts each. Have fun. Oh, you want it to at least be faster than your normal ones at that? No, it's gonna be as slow as like the most basic assembler you get. Have fun. It's just, it's a punishment. It's a punishing way to play Factorio, and while interesting in its own kind, yeah, it's not like the kind of thing I wanna really work through to finish, and I just kinda got annoyed by it after those like 100-ish hours, so I just stopped with it. no idea where I even put that pump that redirects it to. Huh. Okay, now I do have an idea. And with space exploration, it's just, you want bots? Yeah, sure. You launched your first rocket. Here's some logistic chests to get you started. See you with bots in another 50-ish hours. Which, to be fair, probably not gonna be 50 hours, probably a lot less, more like 30 hours. Maybe. Also, how far is the coronal mass ejection away? I have been prepared for that coronal mass ejection for like 30 hours by now. I didn't... Okay, fine, maybe it will be 50 hours for the first, like, requester chests. But yeah, I have been over-prepared for this, like, 30 hours early. And now it's still 6 hours out. So I haven't been prepared for 30 hours, but I have been prepared 30 hours early with this giant thing which is just fueled by a small puny nuclear reactor. But it's a buffer battery. It's basically a buffer battery that can last me those 2 minutes that I need that power. Probably. Hopefully. But yeah, I don't know, I was way ahead on that one, and I have a feeling that with a lot of the production I built here, it's gonna be similar, that I'm just way ahead of whatever the hell I actually need. I'm just gonna build like 40. Fine, 44 it is. I feel way over prepared for what I'm doing with some things, and I have a feeling that this might actually be the time I am doing it right, because the last time I just kind of hit a brick wall with so much random shit being needed. And also making a slight mistake of building the first space base in Calidus asteroid belt. So out here, just because the spaceship was already here, and oh hey, there's beryllium, so why not? And then deciding, oh yeah, the proper space base is gonna go in Novus orbit because of space elevators. Yeah, that required a lot of rebuilding that just was rather taxing for no real reason. So I need 240 bat. Also, yeah, I'm just gonna... Just gonna slowly expand that, and there 60. Wait, no, that's 120. That's 180, and that should be 240 if I'm not completely mistaken. That is indeed 240. And I overestimated the amount of space I need, so I'm just gonna reposition that over there. Add in another couple logistics roboports. I'm just gonna use big power ports for this one. And then I need one requester station giving me 8 belts of sulfur, 4 belts of iron and 2 belts of copper, which is something I'm not even producing, but sure, I can actually pull all of that off with just one requester station. Let me just... Wait, that's... So that's 1, that's 2, and that's... So... And that's like the 4th. Okay, so I actually need 4 filter outputs per warehouse. Alright, fine. The copper is gonna be the funny one. I'm just gonna put that up all the way through. And 1, 2, 3, 4. With me needing 2 belts input per 120, or 1 belt of input per 120 machines. That's actually really fitting, because that means I can just do this. Copy that over to the other set of 120 machines. Well, if I finish up the thingies, yeah, the belts. And that's the copper accounted for. Might as well just set the filters already. Or not. Then the sulfur is gonna be... No, the iron is gonna be next. The sulfur has to go... How the hell am I doing that? Okay, yeah, I need to redesign this, because I think I'm gonna design it around 1 belt of sulfur going in to kinda alleviate some of the problems that might come with that amount of stuff that I need. So iron is gonna be a 4x4 balance up there. Hey, hooray for the balancer book, 4x4. And then, yeah, I do need 2 of those for the sulfuric acid production, so those go straight back down. That one just turns around over here. And that one just turns around over here. I at least want to get somewhere where I haven't been with this playthrough before like the expansion comes out next year. I think it was announced for next year, because I definitely want to get and play the Factorio expansion, because there's a bunch of fun stuff in there, besides like being advertised as space exploration light with less projected time to get through all of that shit, and it being a bit more reasonable for normal players, I guess. And also a bunch of fun features like the raised rails, because from what I understood of the Friday facts, the rail rework with the higher curve radius will just affect the base game, but the raised rail thingy that was announced is just gonna be expansion only, which fair, I guess, because the expansion probably requires a bit of a larger factory to actually get to the end goal, which also once again just probably incentivizes train bases a bit more. So helping out with larger scale train logistics might seem fun, and also it is something that I wouldn't expect for the base game, since like gameplay wise there hasn't been a huge change in a while. It's mostly just been a bunch of optimizations and quality of life stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward for the expansion, and guess we'll see how that turns out in the end. Also, I'm really guessing that the space stuff is gonna be rather reminiscent of space exploration, considering that Arundel is also working on the expansion since he joined the developer team. Um, the provider. Okay, so there's gonna be a fluid station down here. Do I have a preset for that? I don't. Right, I think I don't have a preset for that, just because I still haven't figured out how to properly do this the way I want to. Okay, so let's work on the scaling, shall we? So I'm not using Factory Planner for that one because I think I can do it better with a calculator. So I've got 30 incoming for 5 per second per machine, means I don't need a calculator, that's just 6 machines per ballot. So that's 4 times 6 machines. Eight times 6 machines. Had me confused there for a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With water coming in. One belt coming in here. The iron belt's just gonna stretch through. I'm also gonna space those out just for legibility, I guess. And one of the iron belts just goes down there, the other one okay, so where am I throwing the 8x8 balancer? Right, that's the throughput unlimited one. Yeah, I kinda want the throughput unlimited one since the other ones are, well, not really what I'm looking for. That's gonna be a fun one to sort out. Also, 8x8 is already too big to be accommodated by red belts because of the longer underground belts. Though, I mean, that also depends if you're playing modded, because some mods do increase the length of underground belts. But yeah, space exploration and associated mods by themselves do not. So no longer underground belts for me, I guess. So I'm just gonna upgrade it all to blue, because just having blue undergrounds in there kinda looks a bit weird to me. Also, I have blue belts automated and I'm still using mostly red belts just because... Honestly, I don't even know why. I think it's just... Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, what the fuck? Oh wait, no, those are the iron belts. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just a bit hesitant to transition to the blue belts because they are a lot more costly, and when I can get away with red belts, I guess I just prefer doing so because a lot more costly, yeah, okay, fine. No, actually that's true. They use double the amount of iron for less than double the throughput, so they are in fact less cost to usage efficient, which, I mean, depends on how you look at it, because they are also just more space efficient. But I'm not in a position where space is that much of an issue, so yeah. Also, I think I'm gonna transition to blue belts for most of that stuff when I can actually use the blue loaders, because then I don't have to mix and mash different types of belts for throughput balancing, and can just keep going with, yeah, that's how many belts I take out of the warehouses, that's the same amount or less that I'm gonna use in the factory. Instead of going, okay, fine, I mean, I'm already balancing down the amount that I'm using, but like the ratio of balancing is a bit wonky, because yellow to red is like 2-to-1, red to blue is 3-to-2, which, I don't know, just feels weird, because the balancers for like the multiples of 3, or like overall the non-powers of 2, are just kinda wonky and sometimes don't really work as advertised, because they are not throughput unlimited balancers often. I'm not even sure that the they are stated as throughput unlimited. Those are not stated as throughput unlimited. The 9x9 is not stated as throughput unlimited. So yeah, they are just not the universal. Wait a minute. I think I kind of messed that one up a bit. Oops. Well, doesn't matter now. I'm just gonna do some funky stuff with stack inserters, I guess. Ooh, I have some fun ideas what I can do with those stack inserters. Because if I just... Right, now it's 5 items per machine per... Yeah, I'm just gonna use one stack inserter here, have it grab diagonally and put it through the long-handed thingy. because technically this having it grab from the nearby belt and drop it off long-handedly, which I can do with Bob's adjustable inserters, does sort of work because the rotation speed is... No, wait, no, the rotation speed was just enough for that to not be a hindrance for yellow inserters. But diagonal is already a bit more stretched than the long inserter thingy, and with the higher stack size that would also be a bit better, because that means it only has to swivel once a second. Yeah, I'm just making excuses for this to sort of work the way I kinda want it maybe to, without completely without completely redoing the belt work, because that would be kinda annoying. Yeah, I'm just gonna flip that. One, two. And you grab there, you drop off there. See, everything's fine. Also, I think with the way I'm gonna like deal with the pipes, it's probably not gonna be an issue either, because I am just placing pipes to minimize the total amount of pipes to maximize the throughput. Because I know a thing or two about pipe throughput, which is just to say I have looked up the chart that kinda visualizes pipe throughput through pipe total pipe length. And yeah, that drop off is a bit annoying, so I have the resources to minimize the pipe usage somewhat. I know there's a lot more efficient design ideas for this that would probably have a lot less pipes, but I'm not using them. Deal with it. If I put a substation here, what will it cover? Most of everything. If I put a substation there, what will it cover? Well, I guess that kinda works. I'm just... doing weird things and seeing what works. My usual thing. Also random seeming placements of inserters, because why should there be a pattern? Flip it around and over there. And I need a big power pole right here that stretches out to down there. Also, I'm just gonna use this one as the thingy, because I noticed I can just place normal long-handed inserters there. Could also put them there, but now I've already committed to the weird angled ones, so screw it, I'm sticking with those. Oh hey, that one's not in range. there, that one there. All of those there. I know at that point also short-handed and sorters would also have sufficed. I don't care. I'm somewhat certain that I can at throughput of probably 1200 through this, at least in the short section where it's actually gonna be 1200, because I'm gonna siphon off most of that rather quickly. Alright, I'm surprised that that actually works. And yeah, that half of this setup is how many? 24, yeah, that's probably enough for what I need up there. But yeah, I can probably start requesting. That might be way too much, but oh hey. Those are iron, and those are sulfur. How's my current train station inventory looking? Well, it is looking like I am gonna need a bunch more copper, a bunch more iron. And, well, I do need batteries and apparently more crude oil. There goes that train, next one already stopping. That's the iron train. Right. I kinda want some water down here. Also, this could have gone badly. That was the water pipe. Oops. So for water, I'm just gonna... Pump's gonna be there. I'm just gonna place a little thing here and here. And I haven't automated the... I don't have the offshore pumps in my logistic storage, so I don't know. I'm just gonna handcraft a few. That's not copper. Somewhere in here is copper. I also apparently don't have the water fill in a logistic feeding into a logistic chest. Or any chest at all for that matter. I guess that will do. And apparently I don't have... What? I'm pretty sure I had those automated because I needed them for something. Don't remember what though, so I guess I'm just automating them here again. Right, I had them automated to send them up to my space thingy, but why aren't they automated anymore? I could just slap a provider chest there and call it a day. I'm not gonna do that for the moment though, so... also I need inserter. Right now, that inserter is there. And that. Right, I can straight up just drag that because it's in the way of itself when off center. Yeah, I'm using small power ports while building massive scale things. Oh well. And that one's a long one, and that one's a long one. There I don't need power poles, and I'm gonna need a power pole and at the end somewhere. Right now, a single one right here will do. Also, don't need that. So I can just also bring it in a bit further to not be in the way of anything else, though I don't think there should be anything in the way. And copy this whole section and just place it down for 3 more times. You get your power there. Bring it down through there, and that thing got power. There's a connection there, that thing has power. Right, all the pumps need power. That one also needs power. Offshore pumps, there and there. So it could be that I do have storage tank. No, I don't have them automated, so... Still missing those 8 storage tanks, so I'm just gonna fly down there and fix that. What's the power thing? Basically, this is just a dual storage cell. Those are just 2 storage cells that reset at specific points throughout this timer, and they like have the timer runs about like 2 Novus days more or less. So, and one resets, or they reset with an offset of 1 Novus day, meaning that I have like the reading of more or less the lowest battery state somewhere within the last 2 days, or the last day, which is always better than just having that of the previous night that somewhere resets somewhere throughout the day or night. But yeah, one of those cells just resets back to 100, and then it just counts down every time the number in the storage cell is bigger than the accumulator charge. I got inspired for that design by something I saw on Reddit and decided, yeah, sure, might as well give it a try. Can't be that hard to build some storage cells and a timed reset, right? Right? What am I even requesting here? So it's a request for... Do I have... There's no rhyme or reason behind any of those request names. It just contains whatever the hell I'm requesting, and the order of that is not really defined. I'm just going with whatever I'm thinking might fit at the time. So there might even be some duplicate stations turning up that aren't actually duplicates because they have completely different names. Because I just kinda changed the order of stuff. But I think at this point I can check off the batteries. Great. And your filter fluid is not oil but sulfuric acid. Too bad I can't just filter for any fluid. Hi there, the True Eddie. And with that I think I am sort of, yeah, I'm already producing sulfuric acid. I'm definitely ready to hook this up. And I guess that is short enough of a run for that production. Yeah, definitely. No, that's the runtime over here. I know I can move it somehow. I can move most of the UI, but wait. Oh, FNEI moves automatically and that thing just... Fine, I'll just keep the... Right, I don't have any batteries, so I guess I'll just keep that. bad idea when I open FNEI. But yeah, that's the runtime. I've been on this run for 43 hours already. Whatever, let's just put this back. Can I... when equipped or need... Okay, fine. Also, I'm currently still, well, 5.5 hours out from the next coronal mass ejection, which will happen on Novice. I mean, I'm using LTN for train bases just because building a train base in vanilla is fun and all, but you end up with so many different train routes, it's kinda annoying. So I just tend to use like a lot of single stations for one resource type, so I can just get away with naming all the request and supply stations for every resource type the same, and or like in between, so like iron ore request and iron ore supply, and then I just have one train for each route, which is really fun. Yeah, I centered it around a crossing that an intersection that I found I found a screenshot of it, and it seemed nice enough for like the amount of optimization and throughput that I wanted, while not being overly complicated or big. I say when there's two tracks in each direction. But yeah, so I just built a blueprint with that, gave it some spacing, and yeah, just built a grid, which I also have a blueprint for the complete grid, which is aligned to the global grid, so that I don't actually have to precision build it. I can just roughly place it where I want, and it's gonna pop into position right away. Oh hey, more stone. Where's that uranium is in the way? I'm guessing that is not ore. Never mind, that looks so much like iron ore on the minimap. I'm not just gonna destroy that, so that's another case of I don't know how to actually route that. Hi Azrael. Yeah, it might look somewhat familiar, but I am playing with space exploration. Well, I'm still mostly on... Oh hey, I missed one underground pipe. I'm still mostly on Novice because I'm preparing to just go into the space base full scale, which with dedicated landing pads for different stuff from the get-go, so I'm just setting up some infrastructure to properly address my needs for rocket production, I guess. I mean, it somewhat is, but I'm not referring to like the normal production. I'm referring to all the stuff that I can only do in space, such as multispectral mirrors, where I need multiple belts of those. I need multiple belts of those for like the amount I want to do or build. So I want to just have the delivery infrastructure ready from the get-go, so I don't have to have one shared rocket that I then rebuild into what I am now preparing later down the road and not get deliveries in the meantime. Yeah, I'm not building my entire base on space, especially since I I messed with the settings a bit for, wait, you can also see it here, for robot interference on novice being 0.01 instead of the basic 1, so I can just, so I have a little bit more leeway in terms of robot count without them constantly dropping out of the sky and me having to replace them, because I like my huge bot infrastructure on novice, especially for like a lot of the bot mall, which is primarily centered on novice, and some requested delivery for infrastructure elements like pumps, tanks, and so on be going. I guess so. Pumps, tanks, and so on just getting delivered to space where I need them, so I don't have to produce all that stuff up here as well. Well, I do need to produce my pipes in space as well, because apparently there can't be a normal standardized pipe that also works in space, because normal pipes apparently don't work in space. You need special space pipes out of composite materials. I mean, I don't think there is, because it's kinda annoying already, but I have set up rockets that worked on requester chest bases, that they basically completely requested everything that needs to be in the rocket directly to the chest. It's a bit annoying with circuits, but not all that difficult if you got some space around your rocket silo and enough bots, which I currently don't, because I am only sitting on 490, and the more I have flying around, the higher the risk of them dropping off the sky, and without a single level in swarm safety, which I will get once I actually automate this shit and get my logistic system, they do damage when they fall on something, which isn't all too nice. Also, apparently now all my trains are currently busy, which I can sort of see what the hell's currently in transit. Oh yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Also, one of the mods in here is an LTN compatibility patch that allows LTN trains to use the space elevator, so I can actually just connect the space-based. I think I'm gonna go with like train bases for some of the stuff I need produced in space later on then. And yeah, having more directions and level 2 does sound nice indeed. Well, the level 2 being expansion only from what I understand. Oh well, but yes, trains to space, because there are in fact, let me just look up FNEI, there are in fact space rails, so you can build trains in space, and the space elevator is basically just it's an elevator for trains that allows trains to go up and down from a planet to its orbit, in this case being Novice orbit. The placement of the space elevator is a bit janky, well, a bit annoying, because it has the same coordinates on both the orbit as well as the planet itself, which probably takes some time figuring out, if you already have a base going, where the hell there is free space for that thing to be placed. But yeah, it also allows power transfer and signal wire transfer. The power transfer is especially interesting because Novice orbit gets more solar power and doesn't have a night. Basically a vertical maglev, and the fact that right, I only have what I have to tag for here. Yeah, I can just use normal trains, but I need special pipes. Don't ask me why, but I guess that allows for modded trains to also work in space. But yeah, the building for the space elevator also looks really nice because you have like the base station with the train tracks going in and making like a curve. And since like Factorio only has 2D sprites, making any 3D looking graphic, such as something like this, takes a bunch of clever shading and like overlay. But yeah, it just has the trains going in and driving a curve basically until they disappear completely into the space elevator, at which point they, from the game perspective, get deleted and then an exact replica is placed on the other side of the space elevator. And that is the part that sort of interferes with LTN when you don't have the compatibility mod, because LTN doesn't cope well with its trains randomly disappearing. Drive up the space elevator of their own power. I mean, that would be fun, but yeah, it uses a lot of power to transfer the trains, and it uses active maintenance, so you need to constantly supply it with more space elevator cable to keep it in shape. Otherwise it will just stop working, and yeah, that's slightly annoying. But I guess the cables aren't actually that expensive for that part of the game, because you're already on Material Science 2, Energy Science 2, or 3, level 3 for both of them, so... Let me have a quick look. Where the hell's that space elevator? I know it when I see it. Yeah, basically that's the game sprite. I can't make it any bigger because, yeah, the tech preview is all I have. And yeah, space elevator cable using a lot of random different resources. Apparently also coal, because no carbon nanotubes yet. There is also a later recipe that uses nanomaterial stuff, which presumably probably also uses coal or something. No, heavy composite, aeroframe bulkhead, dynamic emitter, particle stream, metallic epoxy. Okay, fine, whatever. It's just a random high-tech, super high-tech alloy composite thingy, whatever. Now then, let's finish up the station, so I can actually have some batteries that aren't produced in my main base. Especially since that way I can start producing the rocket control units on a larger scale. That's a half belt each, going into a full belt, and that's then 2 belts of yeah, batteries that are not getting balanced in here. The balance is gonna happen when the okay, I already named that, when the warehouses fill up or like reach their designated amount, because I'm giving each of those like a baseline of, oh, I don't know, 10,000 would be 200 stacks. Yeah, sure, let's go with 10,000. Batteries. Hello, bots, where are my loaders? I am requiring loaders. You go there. You go there. And you go there. That's the right one. So they might be a slight bit unbalanced right now, with like 100 being off by about 100 or something, but first of the next train that's gonna arrive is there's already a train waiting to pick those up. Well, I mean, it's waiting in the depot, presumably, but there's definitely a station waiting for some batteries already. This is slowly getting built, giving me, once again, way more wood than what I can actually... Never mind, giving me enough wood to kinda bolster my solid fuel production and slowing down the amount of coal I slurp down on, because I am just in desperate need for so much coal for my power production. Yeah, whatever. How many? So that's... I'm producing like 10 low density structures. Usually well, sort of almost is, but the thing is I usually reserve nuclear for when I have cover racks, because I don't know, the ratio of uranium 238 you get to 235, it's awful. You end up with warehouses of 238 if you go heavily into nuclear power before you have cover racks. And well, cover racks is not that far away, he says, while nervously looking at the science pack that requires space infrastructure and also the better iron smelting infrastructure, and also, oh, would you look at that, a completely different resource that needs to be mined on a different planet. But yeah, nuclear would be somewhat viable. Maybe, maybe not. For now, I'm just going with mass solar, and at the point where yeah, I'm not doing it now. And at the point where that's not enough, which, I mean, I can get this to multiple gigawatts until I get my space elevator, at which point I can just move that all to space and get like 5 times the amount of power, because no night and like 500% output. Yeah, get to an as in have to. Yeah, why go nuclear when there's coal? Well, probably because that's like slurping down on... well, I mean, if it's active, it's slurping down on more than one belt of coal, and I effectively get half my power production, so yeah. Basically, if I build a coal power plant for this factory, I end up with a consumption similar to real-world coal power plants, as in I need 3 full trains of coal a day just to supply my demand and not to build up any sort of long-term storage, because there is no such thing as long-term storage if you chow down on that much coal. Well, the long-term storage would be that, but that you haven't mined out yet, but yeah. Now then, I am producing 10 low-density structures per second, but I mean, I can try at least producing like 2 belts of rocket control units. Yeah, that's not gonna go wrong at all. And I definitely have the stuff for... Right, I don't have processing units. Shh. I don't need processing units because this is space exploration. So they don't need processing units and modules, they actually need... give me a second, they actually need a lot of other stuff. Which is similarly... Oh yeah, right, and I kinda tried to look at what I need, what the cost of a constant delivery via delivery capsules would be, and decided, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Because that's the cheap way of, to get stuff into space or to other planets, but also it's cheap in the sense that you can afford it for like needing 1 or 2 stacks of something. But if it's a constant drain for a large scale production, it's kinda too costly to properly work, so I'm not gonna use that for a lot. I'm just filling up rockets for everything I need. Because at least there I get some stuff back. There, and give me 60 per second, because that's definitely achievable. That's definitely achievable. Definitely. Okay, so yeah, 500 megawatts. Pollution doesn't matter because I turned it off for reasons. I'm playing peaceful and the only thing caring about pollution are biters, which... yeah, no, don't need that, so I turned it off, which should probably at least save some for late game UPS as well. So let's see, yeah, that's... no. That's 10 belts of each. I'm producing 2 belts red circuits, by the way, so I mean, yeah, probably. The thing is, turning it off afterwards requires you to input cheat modes, which, cheat... did I say cheat mode? Cheat code. And yeah, I don't think we've found a way to input cheat codes into the universe yet, so... when we get to that stage, I don't think that, like, terraforming a planet is a problem anyway. It's just a matter of time, yeah. That's also a problem, because there are sufficient ways to filter exhaust gases. A lot of the filtering exhaust gases is, however, very energy intensive, with like a main problem with that being energy being sort of before someone breaks the plant during a firmware update. Yeah, maybe next extinction event. But yeah, a lot of energy production is sort of cheap because mining coal and drilling for oil and stuff is sort of cheap. So relying on like actually climate neutral ways to produce energy is fun and all, but it's really, really, really expensive in the long run. Especially since a lot of that stuff has like a lifetime of a few decades, so you need to replace your infrastructure relatively regularly. And if you're talking like square kilometers of solar panels and thousands of windmills, that's a lot of work, which is probably one of the reasons why Germany is currently suffering under that, as we are still actively building windmills and somehow the amount is still decreasing by the amount of them being decommissioned through end of life.
Under attack.
And hi there, Big C. So 360 seems a lot more on the doable side, so I'm just gonna go with that and place that. Oh hey, more iron. Only 5 million, that's... well, only... that's gonna last me if I... yeah, that's gonna last me a couple hours. So I mean, it's gonna last longer than that because that is derived from me not use... or from me using multiple sources. There we go, another part of the intersection done. And I think the only thing... Wait, no, I don't intend to build anything there. Yeah. 360 for 2.5 belts. So that's... If I use blue belts for this, that would probably make things a lot easier. And that's 1.6, so... That's 90 machines per row using all of those belts. So that's a row of 45 and then just 8 of those. So here I go, a row of 45. That's probably, no, that's not even 45, that's 34. Where the hell? For balancing, I probably don't need that much, so 3 more. U. I mean, the universe is big. Could just be that he fucked off to a different corner of the universe to play around with something that isn't actively trying to destroy what he created. Because, I mean, there's only so many rocks you can throw at a place and expect it to turn out fine, I guess. And after several times not having done a whole lot, I guess, just fuck off elsewhere. Oops, wrong hotkey. I mean, just... How many extinction events were there? It just keeps throwing progressively larger rocks. Yeah, I guess so. Now this is gonna be a fun thing that's not possible in vanilla, production-wise, because, like, the shape of it, because I need the longer inserters instead of just long inserters. Also, I just remembered that I intended to use the blue... I'm gonna upgrade those to blue right now. The middle one's the output one. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Since, you know, plants need carbon dioxide, and without any larger organisms producing said carbon dioxide, yeah, I guess that didn't turn out well. Well, the thing is, CO2 and O2 are basically just one part of the same cycle, and if you have plants that evolve to live in a high CO2 environment, and then suddenly, due to a population boom in them, they just use up all the CO2 and thus create an increasing abundance of O2, which they weren't evolved to deal with, then yeah, I guess that actually is a problem. It's a combination of problems then, I guess. But yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of ways that organisms can live without producing O2, or dealing with like the oxygen carbon dioxide cycle. So yeah, I mean, yeah, O2 specifically does require some things to deal with, I guess, because it's an oxidizer. Meaning, if your biochemistry isn't built in a way that your body can handle an oxidizer, then yeah, no shit, oxygen is kinda bad. Also, high oxygen concentration is kind of funny or dangerous in the sense that stuff like forest fires or something like that could get out of hand with higher oxygen concentrations. Well, luckily there's a bunch of nitrogen in our atmosphere that kinda just puts a sort of upper limit to that. Because in high oxygen, or in pure oxygen, like almost anything is flammable. I mean, yeah, that is also a biological cycle that sort of exists, and oh look, it's one where one of those parts is specifically toxic to us, while the other one is, well, sort of inert because it's a solid. So inert to us. Um, output, output, input, input, and then I guess I need to sort how the hell I want to do this. Alright, also this is gonna be really fun. Oop. Sounds like a you problem. Oh, excuse me! And then I need 4 of those. Also, I need some more thingies. Yeah, that's the correct term, thingies. And of course the automatic deconstruction thing marks trees to be deconstructed automatically, but not rocks. So I still have to clear those out by hand. Speaking of, I could probably... Yeah, you're done with that. I could probably just start marking out a whole bunch of trees and rockets and stuff. Where am I even? There. So you're gonna be a long boy, and you're gonna be a very long boy, and then I just copy that entire thing all the way to the back, and I apparently missed one of the inserters while copying, and I can get rid of at least 2 of those output boards. So Now comes the fun part of I don't need you, I think. 1, 2, 3. And requester station, requester. Requester station. There we go, and I think that's right. I think I need 4 things, so that's already set up properly. And oh yeah, here's the fun thing. This balancing is a complete mess. I should be able to just dump it into one belt, but I mean, I need to split it up directly afterwards either way, so sure. Let's do it that way. And also I do need some substations over here, because the requester station has inbuilt substations, which I need to move way more often than I'd like to admit. So I guess their placement was not actually that great. And I'm just gonna do that. And copy that for all 4 of those. And copy that down. And I'm just gonna offset that in that direction. Now the main problem I have with this is that the amount of stuff I need is greater than 1 red belt, I think. Yeah, it's 2.5 red belts, and if those were red I would at most get 2 out, so yeah. There we go, from there on out it's blue belts, and that's balanced. And now for my next trick, I'm gonna do something like this. Double it up. Sure, that seems fine. Blue underground belt all the way to there, all the way to... no, I actually can only go to there because that and sort of grabbing. And that means I also need to remove that one and that one. And then I can just copy that entire thing over again. That one's just a sound alert. I'm pretty sure that went through because at least I heard it. think it's a bit quiet, but it's just a sound alert, no visual stream alert.
You ain't too good at this, are you?
Yeah, would be kinda weird if it didn't pick up on stream, considering that my stream is straight up just capturing desktop audio, and the other thing, the thing producing it as desktop audio, because it's a Twitch alert box that runs on Twitch's servers, I couldn't even hear the alert if like the Twitch alert box widget thingy in Streamlabs didn't produce the sound for it. I did hear it, so there was at least the sound for it, but yeah, it was kinda quiet, I think. Might need to rework the levels, and that's like a constant thing that I constantly have no idea how my audio sounds or should sound. Also, the really annoying thing for the Commander Under Attack and Strategic Launch Detected alert is that I actually can't boost the audio on those any further. So they are basically stuck as is. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another one. So it's gonna be a fun one to weave all those belts through there. Voice to game ratio sounds good. Okay, that's nice, because that's one of the things I really struggle with, because my well, the audio that I hear doesn't really reflect that much to the audio that you guys hear, just because like different type of headphones, and the fact that like my audio, the only thing I have to like visually view audio is like those two audio indicator thingies, and they oftentimes don't really work that, or oftentimes aren't really that useful, because I don't know, there's just random stuff peaking that doesn't actually come through that audible on stream, so it sometimes is just a lot quieter than what I might imagine from what I can see there. Okay, so this actually worked out to only being a problem for one single belt. Now how am I gonna deal with that one single belt? More diagonal belts, obviously. You. Yay, more diagonal belts. You. Okay, so with that out of the way, I think I'm only waiting on some construction bots to get up here, down here, over here, over here. No, no, I'm not. I'm not belt weaving with that shit. No, I sort of also really hate the belt weaving you can do, mostly because I'm a fan of just dragging an upgrade planner across stuff, and that tends to be not that great for like some belt weaving shenanigans, so I tend to avoid it as much as I can. And if I can't avoid it, I just make more space so I can actually avoid it. Um, well, I mean, no. The thing is, wait, how do I mean, those run on Bob's inserters, but normally my labs run on cargo wagons. So that I have one cargo wagon existing as a filtered buffer chest, where I can just dump all the stuff into, and since you can set filters on cargo wagons, I just filter them to have like enough slots to sort of equally have space for all the science packs, and then I have a lot more space to actually fill stuff into the cargo wagon, meaning more inserters, more throughput, and then I just take out of that and daisy chain the labs. Okay, so what do I need again? I need iron, glass, red circuits, and batteries. So that is a lack of constant combinators that I will not fix. Maybe, probably. No, I won't fix it. I'm just gonna run there. A sushi belt mod. I guess it works, but also there's just so much stuff. Oh, it's gun safe, yeah. I mean, the last time I played space exploration, I built a sushi belt for the space labs. You need every tier of science packs until the end, because there's some weird infinite sciences that always need like the tier 1 stuff still, and or the tier 2 stuff, and yeah, it's a mess. It's a huge mess. But I guess the sushi belt sort of kinda mostly worked, so yeah. I mean, they look cool, but yeah, you basically need to keep tabs on how much is on every single belt to keep your stock properly, which just looks weird because you just have weird readings, or like have the reading frame on every single belt. At least that's how I did it, because it was really efficient that way. Okay, so 2 belts each, so 20k? Yeah, or you track the exact inserter thingy, which I think is way more, it's way more effort. Because the latter one requires circuit condition storage cells, while the former one just uh, reads the physical contents of the belt at all times, meaning you just read the physically stored items on the belt. No circuit storage needed. I mean, you can connect some of them and just copy paste the whole shit. Paste that whole thing all the way through, and if you have weird shapes, just make a blueprint book with turns for belts that actually sort of works mostly. So you can just quickly cycle through your blueprint books with the turns you may or may not need. And what am I even missing? I was missing batteries. Right. So that's 50 stacks? No, wait, 100 stacks, 200, another 200, so that's 500 stacks, and that one's another 1000. Wait, no. 4, that's 400. So, 700 stacks out of the 2000 that I technically have in here. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. First off, I didn't even set the output, so fine, whatever. I can take some time with this since there is some storage balancing going on inside, so mostly just so I don't run out of one thing while another thing completely fills up. Glass. Right, as I said it, the train arrived. What nice timing that is. And batteries. Once again, nice timing as the train arrives just as I say it. Though it currently needs to wait on the glass train, which is gonna be empty right now. Ish. Okay, so I think that's that, and I'm pretty sure that stuff got built, so let's update my minimap. Also, there's more space for more stuff over here. And that thing got built, that thing got built, that thing is overlapping uranium. And also I need more solar, so I'm just gonna... I think I have like the huge solar thingy blueprinted, so I can just do this and keep my bots busy for the next 10 minutes. I mean, don't we all with the energy prices nowadays? Yeah, it's the permit process, the investment, that stuff actually costs a lot of money, and like the money you save from that takes some time to outweigh the cost of installing and that stuff and so on. Yeah, installation price as well. And yeah, overall just... It's nice to have, it's apparently but not that nice to get. Also, the funny thing is that most like plug-and-play systems you can just readily buy, the inverter for those has an automatic synchronization with like grid power, which has the slight downside that if you're stuck in a blackout, you're still without power even though you have solar panels. Fucking hell, I can't talk anymore. Even though you have solar panels on your roof, you're still stuck with no power because the inverter just defaults to I don't work when it doesn't get a signal from the grid. So, yeah. I mean, that's at least for like the systems you get in Germany, where admittedly there aren't really that many blackouts because our power systems are mostly sort of stable and get enough maintenance. But like in the US, if you have stuff like that, better watch out. Maybe, I don't know. There's no buffer. Yeah, the thing with this stuff here is that they have active, they straight up just have active grid synchronization, meaning that you just don't get power if the power grid is down, because they can't feed themselves to keep synchronized. They need the external synchronization signal, and without that, yeah, not really that much of a use. Unless you have like and that's a sort of necessary thing to have if you dump the power into like the normal grid, the normal energy grid of your house. But if you have like a separate smaller solar grid just for like, oh, I don't know, house lighting, your fridge, random stuff that just draws power occasionally and has a sort of mostly predictable constant draw, then I guess you don't need an inverter with that. Yeah, most of those things will not require a synchronized, god damn it, power source, because it's already off the normal power grid. Why the hell would you need to synchronize with the normal power grid? So you can just work with an unsynchronized inverter in that case. But then again, you do need enough storage, and in terms of storage, I have recently found out how Germany apparently wants to deal with the storage problem, because there were some grants for like installing solar power for EV charging, and you basically only got the full sum of the grant if you also registered your car for like as an emergency battery for the power grid, which sounds somewhat sketchy, but okay, fine. Yeah, if you put excess energy back into the grid, they need to be synchronized. So yeah, that is true. But if you're just running it on your separate little solar power grid that isn't connected to like the city grid power grid, then you're basically free to do whatever the hell you want with that. You can run it at any voltage you like, given that whatever the hell consumer you got on that grid is fine with that voltage. But yeah, on the other hand, if you don't use the power, it just goes either to your buffer until it's full, at which point it would just get wasted. Or you don't have a buffer and then it just gets wasted anyway, but then again, without a buffer, if you don't have sun, you can't use that power, so... But yeah, the whole thing with the EV charging and the cars themselves basically acting as a backup battery for the power grid is somewhat interesting. What do I want? How many? I think they stack to 10, so... so... 1,000. It's sort of interesting, but also I can see that there might be problems arising from that. Yeah, that's probably fun. The thing is that I think for the officially registered installations in Germany, like, you don't get net metering, or you don't get metering for in the way that your power meter runs backwards if you produce more than you consume, which would be the way of, yay, I'm saving power, and basically saving at the price that I actually pay for power. No, I think in that case you have a separate power meter where you get money based on, guess what, the normal production prices of power, which are at like a quarter of what you actually pay for it. Which, I mean, you get something back, but it's not much. And if your normal power meter can't really deal with you actively producing more power than you need, or like saving power that you need, or whatever the hell, then yeah, great, I produced some power during noon and saved on that. Today I still overall needed power, so in that case I got like 7 cents per kilowatt hour for the power I produced and paid 50 cents per kilowatt hour for the power I used. Well, shit. But there are some older power meters that actually don't have like the block that prevents them from running backwards. Which is funny because 50 cents is apparently something that was accounted for as about what you can expect somewhere in Germany. I think like 30 something to 40-ish is normal, but I have seen it tagged somewhere as, oh hey, I apparently kind of messed that up. Okay, fine. 2000. But I have seen it mentioned somewhere as like 50 cents. And I mean, it is expensive, yeah. Germany has like, I think, the most expensive power in like, I think the world, but at least like it's really high ranking in terms of expensive electricity. Yeah, that's the same way here, but once again, as I mentioned, there are older power meters that were able to run backwards because it just wasn't a reasonable possibility to just put in more power than you actually consume. It wasn't reasonable to expect that to happen, so there wasn't any prevention to dealing with it. And as such, you can technically, if you've got one of those and have a solar system that isn't like registered through the proper ways, I guess, because if you have a properly registered solar system, you do need one of the newer power meters, then you could technically just get reimbursed for the full price that you normally pay for your electricity, and it will only look suspicious if you produce basically about as much as you need. At which point, like, an off-grid solution would also work. Though then again, in that case, you would still need your battery. And also the greatest thing about off-grid solutions in Germany is that, yeah, I could build a house that is completely off-grid, that doesn't need anything. But you know what? I still have to pay for my power meter, for my water, for my gas, just because that stuff needs to be installed, that stuff needs to lead to your property, and if your property is out there somewhere in the middle of the forest, yeah, good luck, because that still needs electricity and stuff run to the property itself with a power meter and stuff installed. Ooh, solar fee is a bit annoying because like you're doing your part in actually keeping a decentralized power production system that kinda can work, that kinda lowers the strain on like bigger power plants that run on, oh, I don't know, coal, gas, oil, shit like that. And then you're getting taxed for it because, yeah, fuck, fuck the climate or fuck nature or something. Sure, sure, because paying for that installation isn't bad enough already. Sure. I mean, oh hey, I missed something. I mean, that seems like something normal that energy companies do usually. Exactly. Solar itself doesn't need maintenance, except maybe like the occasional cleaning, like once a year or once every couple months, maybe if you've got like run of water from like if you have it like on a lower portion of your roof, considering some architectural things that you may have some runoff from a higher piece of the roof that may have some dirt in it or something. Yeah, but the thing with pricing is, I guess they are kinda arguing the same way that the German post office argues for constantly raising their prices, that you know, people producing their own power. I mean that would mean that we would still have the same expenses on our stuff. We still need to maintain all our stuff, but there's less demand for it. So obviously, with the same expenses and less demand, we need higher prices to still make a profit. That's like the normal argument that sometimes comes out in that sense. Let me just add that to the supply of rocket control units, and that one's a requester for um give me a sec. I need iron. uh, I need glass. I need red sockets. I need batteries. I mean, isn't inflation always greed driven, considering that, like, there is a set amount of inflation that is expected to happen and that is preferred to happen? Because why? Because we apparently need a constant growth of our um, economy just for numbers sake, and the fact that all that new printed money mostly ends up in the hands of some few rich people. So in the end, you have like enough money in the bank accounts of a handful of people to just straight up completely mess with the economy if they were to just spend it on something, not that they ever could within their lifetime. Well, except of course the obviously ridiculously expensive things of like buying an island, because yeah, sure, I would like to have a private property the size of a small country. Um, that's definitely something that's normal and things. Well, yeah, you need inflation, mostly because our current system funnels the money to people that don't spend it. So you need inflation to keep a constant amount of money in circulation because all the money is getting funneled somewhere else. That's like the main problem with that system though, that you need to print new money because someone's hoarding all the money. And that seems like a rather stopgap measure at that. And the thing with people don't spend money, well, people will spend money on the stuff they need. It's how it usually goes. Unless they don't have the money for the stuff they need, which usually more happens with rapid inflation because that way they have way less money or their money gets worth less over the time they aren't able to spend it. So usually the main problem for not being able to spend money is inflation rather than deflation, because that way technically money gets worth more but you still need to buy shit, so you still need to spend money. Right, yeah, right. I completely forgot the entire system of the American economy, which is based on banks literally lending money to the state to give out to rent. That's such a ridiculous system that you don't have a state owned entity that prints the money, that you have like some foreign entity. Okay, fine, it's still an American entity, but it's not a state entity that prints the money, which is weird. It just is completely weird to me that such a system. I mean, it does sort of keep a check on just endlessly printing money, because historically that has gone really badly for many different iterations of that very same problem of, oh hey, the economy is bad, how about we print more money to bring into circulation. And yeah, well, money printing doesn't always cause inflation. Well, yeah, but just money printing to save the economy caused inflation, has caused massive tons of inflation, like all the way back to the 15th century when China started using paper money. And yeah, well, the thing with Japan though is, look at what the yen is worth. And they pretty much had their inflation spike some time ago, to my knowledge. Because I think it used to be worth a lot less some several decades ago. Also, closed economy, just, yeah. All in all, the economy as it is has flaws, but so far it's the only system that has properly worked without actively ending up in a dictatorship yet. Which I guess is something nice. Well, yeah, but the thing is, exactly, for a short time. Also, the thing is, if you have an anarchist revolution, you know, a revolution led by people wanting to abolish the current system, which through the power of group dynamics basically just is devoid of any centralized goal other than abolishing the old system. The main problem with something like that is that they usually aren't that great at establishing a new system that uh, stays around for very long. And I have once again run out of a lot of trains apparently because suddenly there's a lot of stuff being built. Alright, yeah, because I started my production of of space capsules. Yeah, that's gonna take forever and a half. Yeah, at least on what they want to do after the current system, but the thing is that usually current systems are strong enough that groups with sort of opposing post interests tend to flock together for strength, and then just all hell breaks loose. Yeah, okay, fine. But still, some structures also don't mix, and also a lot of times things just end up weird because there's a lack of forethought. Not just in politics, but in general. I've seen a bunch of engineering problems that basically boil down to oh well, someone else decided to do it this way, but surely nothing will go wrong if I change things up a bit without too much thought. And guess what? Things went wrong. Okay, fine, a lot of the times it's also just corner cutting, ignoring safety measures because it's cheaper. Once again, corner cutting. Or just ignoring how stupid people can be because, yeah. Okay, with the rocket control units now taken care of, I guess it's time to tackle the big beast. I'm gonna put that right here. Just so I don't forget if I don't finish today. And that's gonna be one hell of a production place because apparently that shit needs... fuck. Okay, how much power am I draw? Oh shit, that's 700 megawatts and... Yeah, that is significantly more than previously. At least all of this is done and I'm currently at 79 gigajoules, so I have 76.9, never mind. So I have 110-ish seconds of accumulator charge for all of this. Well, that's not enough. Alright, fine. More solar power it is. Ah, my eye. Since I'm only using this for, like, mining, might as well do this and... possibly rip out some of the stuff that's finished. soon-ish. Oh hey, more stuff to landfill. Right, this is the swamp biome. It's really annoying to build in because you get a ton of those little pockets of water that sometimes aren't even big enough to build anything in it. Oh yeah, that's annoying. They start to build walls that eventually turn into borders, or if those groups of people are not like, or if the groups of people that they don't like share the same living space as them, i.e. cities or something like that, then stuff can turn sour real quickly with depending on how violent that movement gets, evictions of certain groups of people that may or may not be may or may not end up really violent. And yeah, usually stuff like that doesn't turn out that well in the long run either. Because if you start shooing off people that you don't like, there is a possibility for it to turn into just being rather aggressively intolerant of anyone not you. Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah, it's almost midnight here as well. But yeah, the mentioning of food does also spark some hunger, and I'm a bit angrier at you about it, aren't? Never mind though, but yeah, I'm probably gonna get a snack or something after stream, and yeah, you're not building over that. Could be worse, exactly. You only mentioned food. Yeah. Right, I copy pasted that entire thing, so they are all the same name. Fun. You didn't waft smoke. Fair enough. And I think I'm also already getting a bit too scatterbrained for this, so I think I'm just gonna end the stream somewhere about here. I'm just gonna look real quick at someone else streaming, possibly space exploration or something with maybe few viewers or something. No real idea right now, but let's have a little look. Space exploration, that seems Chinese. I'm just gonna have a quick look and yeah, sure, that seems fine. Then I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, because this Friday I will not be streaming because I am busy. So no stream this Friday, just YouTube videos going up all the week. I think I can make it through to Monday, where I can probably stream
Get out
again.
of here while you still can.
So yeah, no FAF, but probably Matchmaker stream in FAF on Monday. Until then, have a nice week and bye!
You will not stop the UEF.